especially for you, Matt. You got Japanese. What,
Don't
chem?
remind me.
Do you get chem?
Yes.
Chem. I heard that's one of the hardest subjects.
Do you enjoy chem?
No.
What do you do? What do you do in
What are
chemistry?
you learning at the moment?
Because all I can think of is, those glass kind of...
Test tubes.
Yeah, they put, like, purple liquid in one and then green liquid in
And
the
then
other,
a flame
and it
comes
blows
out.
up.
Yeah.
Is it as interesting as that?
Is it more
Not
theory-based?
really. What we do is we just write notes. And, yeah.
That's a real letdown.
That sounds riveting.
Well, to be honest, I don't really know what I'm going to do next year. I just thought I'd be able to make crystal meth in year 12 chem, but I guess
How's that going?
Well, the only thing I've learned how to do is accurately measure 10 mil.
Ah, okay.
Pour it in.
Isn't that a centimetre? No.
Wait, let me do the math.
Alright, you should not do chem.
Well, no.
I don't do chem, even though I know that 10 mil does not add to a centimetre.
That's in volume, you fool.
Oh, my bad.
Oh God, Ryan.
Keep going, Matt. Keep talking.
I was thinking, I've been to the cinemas recently. Alright.
Yeah.
And no one likes sitting next to someone you don't know at the cinemas.
When it's busy or when it's not busy?
When it's busy.
Right, it's like sitting next to someone on the bus.
Actually, no, when it's not busy, because when it's busy, you don't really have a choice. But when it's not busy, like you buy a ticket, for some reason, they feel the need to clump you all in the same area.
Mm.
So you're all sitting in the middle towards the back.
Yeah.
All the middle towards the back, right? So you get in the cinema, and the trailers have just started. You get in the cinema, you sit down, and you're like, oh, this is really nice. And say you're with a girl on a date, or your best mate, and you just want to talk and be idiots, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, some really dodgy guy who smells bad comes and sits next to you, and you're like...
This happened to us, actually. Remember that time we went to the movies? It's quite a while ago now, but we had two goth people come in.
Oh, yeah.
And they were full dressed in trench coats, spiky outfits. I've got nothing against them,
No, what happened was...
Intimidating.
What happened
Why
was...
don't you have anything against them?
What, you do? You don't trust them?
No,
I
not
don't.
the slightest.
What happened was we did sit down to watch a movie, and I think the smell hit us before they did.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Cigarettes and, well, I think it was something more sinister than cigarettes.
Yeah.
And these guys, they sat down and... I don't know, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but they creeped me out.
They were a bit dodgy.
Alright, I did not like them. Yeah, so I was thinking, I don't know if I'm the only one who experiences this feeling. So, what happens is, you sit down and you're next to someone really unfortunate. So, someone who smells, or someone who's crude, or someone you just don't like, right? So you think, you know what? No, screw the system, I'm going to go sit in another seat.
Oh, gosh.
So you go sit in another seat with your mate, and then... From that point onwards until about halfway through the movie, every time someone new enters the cinemas, you freak out.
Because you think it's the ticket.
Because you think, oh, it's going to be really embarrassing if I'm sitting in their seat.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, I don't really have a comparison for that, but I don't like to not sit in my seat. I will if there's no one next to me, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like taking a seat on the bus. If there's free seats, you will take them before sitting next to a stranger.
Oh, of course. That's just normal.
And if the bus is full, then you won't think anything of it.
Yeah, but on a bus, if you're just catching a public bus, you don't have a designated seat. You can sit where you want.
Yeah.
In the cinemas, you kind of have to. And then, so you might end up next to someone that you don't want to end up next to. So you go and sit somewhere else, and then you feel really nervous. Because you're like, alright, I'm not sitting in my seat, but if someone comes along... It's going to be awkward. I don't know. That's just how I feel when I do that. Cultural makes people weird. It's just one of those drugs that makes people weird.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it does. Everyone I say, I'm like...
A culture, those big kind of day and night tablets?
Yeah. If I see someone at school and they're acting all odd, I'll be like, what's up? And they're like, man, took some cordial.
Really?
It's messing with me, dude.
I've never had that. I've never had that problem.
Oh,
I had like the big liquidized capsule types thing. They're blue and dark red or something.
Yeah.
I've had them. And they just make me sleepy, really.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're supposed to do.
Cordial I think it just, like, it's good.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps.
My mate, Nathan, shout out to Nathan Iad, he had what I had last week. And he actually heard our podcast. I sent him the link. I sent him the link to the embarrassing story one. Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. But at the time when I texted him, I said, listen to this, mate. It's I just want to know what you think of it. And he texted back, and Nathan is odd. Like, he's an odd unit. That's why we're good mates.
An odd unit.
But he texted back and saying, you guys should talk about goats.
Goats?
Goats.
Why goats?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I read the text and I was like, what? So I said, where the hell did goats come from? Like, I was expecting a sort of, oh yeah, this is shit, mate, or it's really good, I want to hear more.
One of the basic,
he started going on about goats and how we should talk about them. I was like, okay. And he was like, mate, I think I've mixed medicines. It's not good. I had this cold, and I took some Codral.
So now he's high.
And then I took some Panadol.
He's high and he's talking.
And then I took some Robitussin. So he just basically gone, I'm going to kill this virus, and almost OD'd on,
on legal drugs.
On legal drugs. But he was acting up. Like, I was like, you're right, man. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't know. You should talk about goats.
Oh, that reminds me. You saved me. You just saved me. On the way here.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
I won't be able to understand that, Matt is currently choking on his sandwich.
On the way here, Johnny, it wasn't as easy as planned.
Yep.
I may or may not have been on the bus out of school and then told the bus driver to pull over because I got to get off. I went blank in my mind. We had this planned for a while, and
like 3 days.
3 days. That's a lot of planning for us.
I've done that before.
And I got on the bus. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go home. It's gonna be wicked. I'm just gonna go to sleep when I get home because I'm rather tired. And then Tucci texts me and says, "Where are you?" I sent back, "Fuck." And then I yelled it out as I sent it on my phone. I was like, "Fuck." Yeah. Now it ran down the bus. I was pressing all the stop buttons, so I went ding, and then didn't ding anymore.
It would have been like the musical Ryan, just ding, 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 ding.
So I was running down. I'm like to the bus driver, "Stop!"
Was there
literally that slow? Literally that slow. It wasn't slow motion. That was real time, and my voice even broke.
Yeah.
I was like, "Stop!" And then he's like, looks in the mirror. He's like, "Ooh." He's old.
Yeah.
He stops the bus. Everyone's just like, "Ooh." And then I'm like, "Open the door!" And he opens the door. I run out the door with my bag. I'm like, "Cheers!" So I run out because you gotta be polite to bus drivers, champions. And then I ran to Matt Tucci. He looks at his phone. It says "fuck" on his screen. He looks up. He says to me like, "Oh, thanks for that text. You reminded me." And then we walked over here.
Oh, Matt, you single-handedly saved the show today.
The show tonight.
Prime example. I mean, look, we're teenage boys. I have trouble getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Massive trouble. But if I sleep in, and if I need to be somewhere desperately, and I check the time, bam! It's like...
You're awake.
And it's like ninja mode.
The adrenaline goes...
You don't even remember getting out of bed. You look at the clock, next thing you know, you're on the floor. You're standing up, you're getting dressed, you're like, how did I get out of bed?
I thought you just fell over. Like,
no, like...
Just look at the clock and go, "Oh, the hell I got on the floor?"
No, it's like you look at the clock, next thing you know, you're half dressed, next thing you know, you're like running out the door, hopefully not still half dressed.
Oh, you usually have your tie kind of slashed down, your buttons are still going up, you're like, "No."
You're doing what I like to call the mad businessman rush, when you're just running out the door,
your suitcase
half a piece of toast in your hand, got your suitcase in your hand.
Newspaper under the arm, your suitcase, and you're
the old kiss the 50s housewife on the cheek, "Bye, honey."
Bye. That rush.
Doesn't that...
It gives you so much adrenaline.
It's like, it's just like having a shot of V.
Yeah.
But instantly.
Well, the shot of V does go down rather instantly.
Well, not as quick as when you look at the clock and realise you're that late.
You're late.
What has happened is Schumack, our fearless leader, has decided to roll out next year for all years apart from 12,
Schumack.
to distribute Apple iPads to students. Some say this is a brilliant idea. Most say this is stupid.
I don't mind it. I'm one of those few.
Listen, I think it's a massive waste of money.
Well, yeah, but they have the money.
Yeah, exactly, but it's still a waste.
What would you rather see it invested in?
I would rather see it invested in better design for the school.
Alright,
because
we've
it's
gone
terrible.
over that.
More air conditioning.
Nice quick course.
The air conditioning's fine.
Rejuvenate the Year 12 Centre. Because that thing's been there
that needs a redo.
That thing's been there for over 2 decades.
Yeah. The lecture theatre looks good.
Rejuvenate the Arts Centre. Yeah. Every department has gotten an upgrade apart from the Arts Centre.